In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to build an AI-powered outreach system that will, from a simple keyword that you enter into a table, like accountants, search the entire internet. It will grab all the data for those individual websites, including everything they've done, their rewards, all the content on the homepage of their website. It will grab their phone number, it will grab their Twitter, their LinkedIn, their Instagram, their contact email address, even potentially YouTube if it's there. And then what it will also do, this system, guys, and there's a couple of parts to it will then all pre-populate it. Here, first of all, for you to decide, hey, here's the title of the website, here's a URL, here's what they do. Do I want to scrape it? Do I not want to scrape it? You can decide that here. And if you decide that you do, it will pull through all of the information, their email, phone, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And then also on top of that, what it will do is based on what is in that website. So say, for example, these guys have won an award over something unique. It will generate for you a custom unique email for that website combined with the information about your business using AI. It will give it a unique subject line. It will give it a unique email. For example, here, check this out. I want to start off by congratulating you on having this prestigious International Association Award. This is all done, guys, completely automatically, and the only thing you ever need to do in this automation is quite simply decide when you get the results, do you want to scrape it or not? I'm going to show you exactly how you build this entire automation step by step. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Jack, and my YouTube channel and my school community is all about the latest AI. It's about incredible automations, and most importantly, it's about the stuff that actually works. So if you haven't already, grab that coffee and let's jump straight in. I should also say that all the prompts, the blueprints, the agents for every automation I cover on the channel, and all the ones that I don't, are all available down below here in my school community. So if you ever wanted to build one of these automations, and I make a lot of really cool automations, all you ever do is you come down here to more, you click import blueprint, you choose the file, you select the file, you click save, and it all auto-populates automatically. And then also you get all the generation agents. And on top of that, guys, if that wasn't enough, what else do we get? Also run 2 sessions every week that are an hour plus long for you to come down, chat to an expert, and get help building your automations if you're ever struggling with anything. So with that in mind, what I'm going to do with this automation is show you how it works end to end briefly. Then I'm going to cover the tools that you need to run this, and then I'm going to show you exactly how to build this step by step. So what's the very first thing we need to do? Well, I've put this off as keywords. So you could, if you already have a predefined list of the websites you want to contact, you can skip this part, but I know some of you are going to want to grow your business or give this as a service to agencies as an AI automation agency, and you'll want different keywords. So what do we do to start off? Well, let's say that we want to have a search term like, I don't know, call it tax planning. So the first thing we do is we enter a keyword into this keywords database like that, okay? Perfect, that's done. Then what happens? We are going to come here, we're going to set this one to watch for new submissions, scenario 2. Here, we just hit run once. And don't worry, I'll explain all this done. That watches for anything that happens here. So every time we add a new keyword, this guy says, hey, whoa, something's happened here, we need to grab it. We then run the no-code scraper tool, which will show you how to build. And this says, hey, cool, now I've got that keyword, what I'm going to do is I'm going to search the internet for loads of different examples of when I type that into Google in the UK or in the US or wherever you are, Germany, France, I'll find all the results on Google, and we can specify and give it loads of parameters for that, right? What happens then? This guy then waits for the first actor to do this thing. It grabs the data set and then it adds it to our table. So look, what happens? I come to results, and for the purposes of this video, guys, what I've basically done is just said, give me one. So this automation starts with this database, and all you ever need to do now, some of you will have URLs you already need to contact, but some of you will want to start AI automation agencies, or you'll have keywords and different businesses you want to target. So all you ever do at the beginning is you come here, and let's say I do want to do accountants, okay? Let's say I want to target accountants, I hit enter, that's all I ever do. Now, I click the second scenario to watch out. Now again, in reality, this will all be running automatically. Then what this will do will be running automatically, and the second you enter a new keyword, this kicks in. This finds the keyword that we just entered, and then what it will do once it's found that is this no-code agent, Appify, will type into Google. Could be, it will look for, Great Britain exclusive. It could be France, Germany, Italy, America, wherever you live. We can parameterize all of that. We can control how many results we get. It will now go and grab it. This actor here in the second scenario waits for the first one to work. Don't worry if it sounds complicated, I promise it'll make perfect sense. I just want to show you end to end. There's only 4 parts to this, 4 little automations, And once you've done that, you're basically set up ready to go all the time. This actor here waits for the first one to fire. And once that's done, what it will do is populate in this table the title, the URL, the description if it's there, and then we get to decide the status. In other words, do we want to, for example, do we want to scrape it or do we want to reject it? Now, the reason why I've built this in to give you the option of scraping or rejecting is because sometimes when we're scraping the web, there'll be things in there that we don't want to contact. Maybe it's, you know, a big competitor of ours, or perhaps it's someone you've already got a relationship with. So you control 100% of the time whether or not you initiate that conversation. So look at this, guys. It's just pulled 5 results. Why is it pulled 5 instead of 50? Well, because I specified it to do that. Here, I put query 5, I put query 50. I'd get 50. I can do as many as I want from this. So I come back over, right? That's run. And I've got all these cool things. So let's just check it out. So who's the first accountant we've got? Online accountants, unlimited expert, and advice and service. The perfect combination of simple accounting software, expert advice, and great service from chartered certified accountants for freelancers. I love it. So then what I would do, I would look through these, you know, I could say reject or scrape. You could hire someone to do this, a VA if you wanted to. Now, what happens after that is you've done 2 out of 4 parts of a scenario. We've got this guy here, he's going to watch for records. And then we've got this final cool super, I absolutely love this automation. I'm going to click run once. The reason I'm clicking run once in automation 4 is because he's just going to wait for number 3 to run. So let's say, for example, I want this. That's just to give it simple, I'm going to scrape one particular circumstance. I'm going to say, yes, I want you to go ahead. I like this company. Go and grab me all the information available on that website and build me a bespoke email about my particular business using all their data. That's what I want to happen. So look, I come here, I click run once. This is waiting for this to grab. And bear in mind, this will be automatic. You wouldn't need to do this. This is just to show you. And then this guy here is going to wait for the previous one to fire through. And when this happens, you're going to see an absolute crescendo of all these cool AI things. And the thing is, guys, businesses pay a lot of money for these automations because the easiest thing to sell is to say, hey, I'll get you all the clients you want in the world. They don't really understand how this stuff works because this is the meta, like how this works, scraping this information. But then we're not just using no-code tools. What we want to do, I want to do in this channel and help educate you is about how you combine that with AI. And AI is always evolving. The no-code space is evolving. This is the epic. This is like the kind of like intersection of 2 incredible things. And you're going to be the person though from watching this. So what's happening at the moment is it's basically ran and started to scrape the website that we gave it. It's gone to Apify. Basically, we've drawn down the data, right? We've got the file. We've turned the HTML language into English. We've created a unique subject line for that business based on the content of their website. We've created a draft email. We've then built it in Gmail as a draft, and we've thrown everything over to Airtable. So I'm going to show you 2 things now. I'm going to show you all this data that's just appeared at Airtable as if by magic, except for it isn't magic because you know how to do it now. Like a magician should never reveal secrets, except for on the Jack Roberts YouTube channel. Here we do. We show you all the secrets. Well, most of them. Some are in the school, I must admit. We come down to contact info. And guys, look at this. So in the Crunch, we've got this, right? We've got careers at Crunch, info at Crunch. We've got the phone number. We've got, in fact, let me just open this up. And I've just come over, right? Email, phone number, LinkedIn profile, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It even created a subject line. Now look, we've got all this contact information, and from this, guys, you can run like a million different automations, outreach on different platforms. If I showed you every possible configuration of what's possible here, this video would be 24 hours. I might do a Lord of the Rings marathon. I'll do the video as long as Lord of the Rings is in the background. But this is where it gets really interesting. The other thing that we did is I said, I want you to create this in Gmail, right? So I come back over now to Gmail. If I refresh the page here, there should be a draft with that in it. And so check this out, right? Look, come off here, click on this top one here, look. Discover seamless AI automation for your accounting needs. I hope you're doing well. I'm reaching out as we notice your robust offerings for sole traders and limited companies. That's interesting, sole traders and limited companies. Well, is that true? Well, if I look at their website, I type in sole trader, is that true? These guys focus specifically on sole traders. So it's given us something unique to do that. And obviously we can build out and specify the emails per specifications, guys. But in essence, that's exactly the entire automation. Now, I'm going to show you exactly how I build this step by step. Every person, you watching this video, you're going to see this and think, I like this, I'm going to add this, and it's very modular and you can customize it that way. So I'm going to start by showing the tools that you need for this. Now, All of these automations are built in Make.com, which is a no-code automation platform. It basically lets you parade around as a coder without really knowing much of the coding part, so it's pretty sweet like that. All the links will be down below in the description for you, so you just click and get started straight away. The second thing we're going to need is something called Airtable. If you're a regular watcher of the channel, you'll know this bit, but hey, it's always good to refresh our memory, right? So Airtable, Google Sheets on steroids, we love it. It's way more customizable, it's way more robust, it's easy to use, and it's free up to 1,000 records. So no additional cost, even better. After that, we need something called Apify. Now, Apify itself is a scraping tool that does a lot of the heavy lifting for us. It has, I'll just show you very briefly, this kind of repository of different things that you can use. It's got like the store of different actors, you know, Instagram scraper, you can scrape websites, you'll have seen it in different parts of the channel before, but basically it's how we scrape things, and you get $5 free every month, and obviously you can add more on there, so you can just literally plug and play with this and get started with no additional cost at all. But to be honest with you, thinking of cost is the wrong way to think about this stuff. You've got to think about it in terms of value, like how valuable is this information, how valuable is it to know this stuff, and you can't really put a price tag on it, I think, because it's insane. But in any case, you get $5 every month. That's cool. The only other thing that you need, guys, is access to the GPT module. And to get your GPT, it's basically like the ChatGPT version, but via an API. And it's just a fancy way of saying that you could use your ChatGPT account via this developer portal, which again used to be exclusive for coders, but not for us, okay? So you head over to platform.openai.com, you come down here, you can see an API key, you can grab that, you can bring that over, you can insert it into your, insert it into your scenario. I've got teachings. In fact, we've got a live code building session happening around. Maybe we should jump in live on a channel and say hello to everybody. That'd be cool, right? But if you need help setting this stuff up, I have got tutorials, like I said, that are on the channel, like how you connect all this stuff, like how you connect with social medias, how do you actually set up OpenAI, blah, blah, blah. So all that stuff's there, and you can basically grab an API key, and you'll be prompted to do so, and you can link them all up together within this platform. You can deposit like $5 of credits and get started. So it's really, really good and modular like that. Before we jump in, just for your reference of how this automation works, we've got step 1, which is a keyword, okay? We've got 1 out of 4, which is scraping the internet for that keyword. We have automation 2 out of 4, which is loading the results and throwing it over to here so we can see all the results in our Airtable. Then we decide if we scrape or not. After we've decided that, this then goes ahead, looks for our answer, scrapes the information for us, this comes back, this grabs it, it creates an email, it creates a subject line, and then finally loads all the results that we want in the contact information section. Cool. So let's get started. And of course, who are we without our formalities, okay? 1 out of 4, I'm gonna call this one Epic, let's call it Epic Scraper Program. Okay, cool. And of course, we need an emoji for that, don't we? Let's give it a little game feeling on that. Okay, cool. So what do we need to do first? Well, the first thing we want to do actually is going to be to build our Airtable. So I'm going to briefly show you how you do that, okay? So let's head over to airtable.com and build everything that we need. So I'm on Airtable, I come down here, I create. Again, you'll see something similar to this. When you actually build Airtable, you'll be prompted to log in into a new page and you'll be ready to do that. Cool, so we've got Airtable. I'm going to change the color first of all to pink because I'm in a pink. In fact, I'm wearing blue, right? Let's go for blue. Cool, we'll call this Epic Scraper Program. Come over here. Let's give it that name. Awesome. Okay, so what do we want? Well, let's go check out the first one that we built, right? So what do we have in the keywords? All we had was a search term, a created time, and a last modified time. Okay, sweet. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to call this guy. This is your search term. Cool. Search term, single line text. Cool. And this one doesn't really need to be any more complicated than that, to be fair with you. So all we're going to do is come on here and we're going to edit field and we're going to type in single select. It's going to be created time. So in other words, what this will say is, hey, tell me when this was created. What time was it created? Cool. You need created time. The second one you're going to need is last modified time. And we come to field type and we type in last modified time. Okay, cool. Sweet. Create field. So this field here will tell us, let's say we have 100 records. If we edit record 75, this will say, hey, look, this is the one that edited, therefore this is the one that needs to run. Amazing. Okay, cool. So we're going to rename this one, rename this table. We're going to call this guy search term. Cool. And we click save. And the reason I like emojis, I just think, I love design. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. I'm even breaking up thinking about design. I love design, and I also think that the more emojis you add in and you rename the modules, just the easier the whole thing gets to follow. So let's click save on that. Awesome, sweet. So the first thing we're going to do is essentially watch for when it sees a change in that particular folder. So we click on this plus button, the big shiny purple thing. I'm going to type in Airtable. I'm looking for watch records. Cool, you'll see something like this. It loads up in the background. We pick the base, and the base is Epic Scraper Program. Amazing. And this loads up a little bit for us. We pick the table. It is search term. You see, rather than table 1, table 2, table 3. Yeah, a bit confusing. It's a bit nuts. We'll look at the trigger field. Trigger field is last modified time. Label field, we're looking for search term. I want to think, guys, when you're setting up the first automation, make sure in the Airtable that you only have 1 in the limit. Okay, now this is going to fire off like the second that we change something or last modified time has happened. So essentially what we're saying is the moment that anything changes in here, start this automation off, okay? Sweet. So we come back, then the next thing that's going to happen now, we need a bot now to go forth, conquer the world, and actually grab all the data for us for that particular thing. So if I reference my initial scenario here, for example, we've got Apify, and we can see we've got the Apify Google Search Scraper. So this is the bit where we head over to Apify. Now check this out. You head over to apify.com. You'll see a page like this. It's really cool, really reliable. You're gonna log in or create an account if you don't have one yet. Cool. So I've signed in. Nice. Now come over here to the left to store, and we type in Google Search Scraper. We've got this one here. You click on it. It's run and maintained by Apify. So if it's $3.50 per 1,000 results, you know you get your like $5 free credit. So basically, if you click on that, what it means is that it is paid by result, but it's like managed by Apify in this particular case. Okay, so it all comes out of the Apify platform usage, and you got a fixed particular price per run. Now look at this. You'll see something like this. It can look a bit weird, like, oh my goodness, what's going on? What's the situation? Look, how this works is you're gonna have a search term. What I propose you do is type in a random word like, I don't know, call it accountancy. Okay, sweet. And then what we can specify for here is number of results. So how many results do you want, and how many pages would you like? Would you like 10 results? Do you want 50? Do you want 100? How many different results do you want? So I'll set this at 10. Location, language. I've set this for United Kingdom, but whatever country you're in, Bulgaria, you're in, Croatia, you're in like Fiji. If you're lucky enough to be in Fiji, not in the UK at the moment, then you'll be sorted. You got the language, which is the same as a country. You can add some additional parameterization there if you want to, and additional settings. If you don't specify the country, you'll end up getting like accountants in America. Whilst they're lovely, they don't do us a great deal of help in the UK. So cool, that's done. Then come to JSON, and you see this. I just want you to click it, copy all of it, Control C, right? And then click on create task here. I've already created a task, so I don't need to, but you create a task. Awesome. Cool. Then when we come back over, we click on this, we look for Apify. You're looking for run and actor. Not the Hollywood kind. This is the bit of a cooler type. Pick the actor, which is going to be Google Search Scraper. You type it in. There he is. That's cool. Here we go down, input JSON. So I want you to enter the things I told you about. Basically Control and V, and you see we've got this accountancy thing, right? That was our query. I want you to copy that, delete it, and then I want you to select here search term. Cool. And so what that will basically do, and you may need to just make sure that there's no spaces in it, because something about code gets really finicky about spaces for some reason. So make sure there's no spaces that shouldn't be there. And essentially what this says is run the whole thing with that particular search term. We come down, we're happy with that stuff, then we click okay, cool. Now you've done that, you can pretty much build the rest of it. Now you understand those concepts, you're going to be absolutely set. So the next thing we do is number 2 of 4. So we copy that, we come over here, we type that in, and we call it 2 out of 4 Epic Scraper Program. Cool. We come down here, we click on this big plus button. You can look for Apify again. So what's happened here, okay, is we've given it a search term, it's grabbed the search term, it's now said go do the searches on it, but we need a way to be able to grab the data. Now, unfortunately, the way this is set up, we have to create a new scenario for that. You know, that's just a feature of the one of the quirks of Make at the moment, and to keep it simple, it's a lot easier to do that way for the time being. So then we're here, all you can do is watch actor run. So I'm saying, hey you, guy in the second part of the automation, look for this guy. And as soon as this actor runs anywhere in the world, it will then trigger. It'll say choose a hug, so we'll just click on add for your sake. It'll come up, you pick the actor, Google search scraper, and then automatically will give you a webhook ID without basically doing anything. And you can see there, if we read your mind, we attach this webhook automatically for you. Amazing. Now we've grabbed the data, we need to go and add that to our Airtable. So we come back over now to our Airtable here. You're going to add in a new table. So let's have a look. We come here, start from scratch. So basically the plus button, start from scratch. So table 2, let's go back to our original Airtable. We called that results with title, URL, description, and status, didn't we? Cool. So look, table 2, we're going to call this one results. We're going to come here, excuse me, get a rocket emoji, because we love that, okay? Amazing. So first one's going to be title. Single line text is absolutely fine. Click on this one, call this one URL. Sweet, long text is okay. And let's see what else we got there. You got title, URL, description. Let's just add a little emoji to title as well. Sweet. We've got title, we've got URL. The next thing we need is description. And then we want the status, right? So we come here, for example, click on description. And again, we want to make sure it's single line text. Select OK. Now, the status is going to be like a single line select. So you click on edit. And all I want you to do is deny on the red, excuse me. Get rid of yellow. And then you can click approve. In fact, for our purposes, let's just call it scrape. And you can change the colors if you're so inclined to do so there. Cool. Then we click OK. And as you might remember, we need to add those two other fields again. So the first one's going to be created time. Sweet. And then again, we add another one. And this one's going to be last modified time. Come down here and then find last modified time. Great. So now we've done that. What we now need to do is we're going to come back over to our automation, which is we've got epic number 1, we've got number 2. Now we just need to grab it and add it now back into the Airtable, okay? So click on Airtable, click on create a record. We're gonna select the place where we're gonna add it. So click on the base. It's gonna be Epic Scraper Program. Let's have a look, search term results. So we've got the Airtable there. Now I want you to unlink this for a second. Now come back to Appify, and now we've got the actor runs. Before we send it over to Airtable, we need to download the data, okay? So click on this, click on Appify, get dataset items, come down, dataset ID, and then it is default dataset ID, which is somewhere near the bottom. I mean, cool, great. I wish they just said insert this one for the data, comma, bro, please, thank you. Okay, cool. Now we've done that. Now we can link these guys up together, and then we click on the Airtable. Let's see if we can get the results in there. And you can see, right, that like nothing's popped up yet, right? So that's happened because the actor's not run yet. So we need to kind of like throw some juice through the wheels a little bit to get the data so we know how to map it. So on scenario 2, unlink these two, click run once. He's going to run in the background. Come back over now to your scenario 1. I want you to right click on him and just put run this module only. And it's going to ask for a search term. The search term is going to be, I don't know, how about plants? How about London plants? Okay, cool. We've done London plants. Airtable will rotate a tiny bit, but then the Appify actor is going to run. And once this Appify actor's run, this guy's going to grab it, and then we're going to download all the dataset items from that own particular search term, which is going to be epic. And I think that the use cases for this are insane. They're literally crazy. Oh, and a little tip, by the way, just let's go in the background. Can you see I come over now? You see the memory in the bottom left-hand side? You can always flip back to and from to see, go to schedules, for example. Let's go home, let's go for, you can actually see the actor runs and what's happening. The memory's done, which means if I go back, it will be complete, or it'll be grabbing the actor's run now. So yeah, we can actually see all the stuff that's happening in real time. If you come to and fro, you can see the activity within the actual platform itself. Cool, so that's now watching actor runs, and once that's done, we'll be able to grab the data set. And one of the cool things here about use cases is like, it pretty much blows the lid off everything. I mean, like any industry, anything you want to get data for ever, we can grab it. But that's one thing, data's one thing, but it's also about like data in service of what? Okay, you've got the data, but you got all the data and no one's actually doing anything about it, then like it doesn't mean anything for you. So the intelligence of this system is how we therefore use that data to create something amazing. Cool, as I say that, the actors grabbed it and we got the dataset items. So if I click this one here, for example, let's take a look. We've got the URL, and look at this, guys, all the data you get. Do you want paid results? Do you want paid products? Do you want organic results, suggested results? We want organic results for purposes of this, and then it's given us like 10 options, right? Number 1, Plant World London. Number 2, we've got London houseplants. Number 3, we've got London houseplants again. Wow, that's 2 and 3, my goodness. Forest London collections. Cool, we like it. It's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Now I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Oh my goodness, what is going on right now? I love Make. This, maybe it's just me. Tell me down below if this is just me. This happens to every now and again. Like, honestly, it's just like, I swear like 5% of every video is me like messing around with the zoom functions on this a little bit. Cool. All right. Title. Let's have a look. Oh, we don't see it anywhere. This happens sometimes. If this ever happens, just save it. Save anyway. That's fine. Delete him and then refresh the page. Yep, refresh it. That's cool. We go in and let's go back in here. Cool. Click on the Airtable and just restart it again. Now, the reason this happens is because we built the Airtable before we did the Apify data, so the connectivity is not blasted in. Go to table, click on results. We scroll over a tiny bit. Great. And do we see the title? We do. This is cool. All right, sweet. So what's the title? Well, let's come down on the right hand side and we should see, if we come down, let's have a look if we've got the right one. Yes, dataset items, search query. Yeah, it's got the URL. It's got the term. It's got the type, the device, the domain. Let's have a look. And we're going to come down to organic results. Cool. Okay, so on organic results. Okay, it's fine. I just mentioned about the Zoom thing, and like literally in no less than 20 seconds, the exact same thing happened. So we got the title. Good data. The URL. It's, have a quick look. Let's just squeeze down here a little bit. Come down to organic results. There you go, URL. It's the one on the organic results that you want. Come down to description. There you go, that describes what they do. And that's all we need. That's all we really need. So now I'm gonna click, okay, all right, sweet. And then let's realign these guys together. And then, do you know what, guys? Let's just run this whole thing over one more time. But before we do that, I wanna come and build scenario 3 or 4, and then we're gonna run this all together, okay? So then let's copy, because what are we without our formalities? We come back over, and we come here, and I'm gonna go for 3 out of 4. Great. Now, as you might remember, so what's gonna happen now? Okay, just zoom out. So scenario 1, okay, excuse me. We gave it a keyword. That triggered this automation. We sent the actor off to get on Google and find our data. This guy was sat there with his binoculars and looking for him. He sees him. He's like, good, he's over there. He's grabbed the stuff. Let me go find out what he's learned. He grabs it. He then delegates it to this guy to say, bro, I'm too lazy. I've got the binoculars. You need to go out and grab it. So this guy is huffed and puffed, and he's gone out and he's spoken to this guy, grabbed his data, and has very kindly for us put it into Airtable, right? Which will be in the results tab, which is exactly what we wanted. Now that's happened, once we're in this tab, we're basically going to decide, do we want to deny or scrape? Because you may get like a competitor in there. You may get someone in there that you already work with or whatever it is. So we want some agency over who we want to contact and send through our Super Mega or Super Megamind system. So to do that, we would decide this. Now, as you probably remembered, so what that means is we need something to look for some changes to that Airtable. So the first thing we're going to add is Airtable. Cool. And we click on Watch Records. Sweet. This loads up in the background, does its wonderful thing. We come down, we select Epic Scraper Program and get some coffee that's loading up. Wow, look at this. Failed to load data. That is not very nice. I don't like that it's failed to load data. Let's delete it. Let's save it. There's some rule that like 60% of every problem is solved by refreshing the page or resetting the laptop. I wish it wasn't the case. I really do wish. I sometimes like, I've had something like not work and I'm like, why is it not working? Why is it not working? And so did you refresh the page? I'm like, I refuse to refresh the page. In 2024, I feel we're past refreshing the page. This is the bit now where it doesn't work again. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to go refresh the laptop or something. Okay, table, looking for results. It's loading for us. Cool. And it's worked almost by magic, guys. Who would have thought refreshing the page would work? Cool. But look at trigger field, last modified time. Great. Label field. We're going to click on for this one. Let's go with the URL. Limit is going to be 10. And then we click OK. Sweet. Now that's happened, we now need to get a second agent in. Okay, so we're going to come back over to Apify. Now the second agent that we need, if I come with this one, for example, this guy is going to go and grab the information for us. Now we got the URL, but we need to find out the contact information. So if I come over to my actors, for example, let's have a look. Contact details scraper. All right. So you would search for this guy in the store, you'd come here, you go boom, let's find him. Contact details scraper. I use this one here by this bro. Cool. Now look, a couple of things to understand about this. You can decide how many pages it goes into the URL. If I said 5, I might get the homepage, I might get the how it works, I might get the contact us, I might get blah, blah, blah. You get a lot of different pages, depending on how deep you want to go into the website. Just for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to put 1 here. I'm going to come down to scraping options, maximum link depth, maximum pages for the whole scrape. We've got proxy configurations, and then we've got run options where things get infinitely more complicated. Cool. Now what happens? We go over it. So I put test.com in. I like to give it like a dummy URL. I give it a dummy URL so when I actually bring it back over to Make, I can just easily identify where it is and replace it. That's cool. Then we go to JSON, and JSON is here. We copy all this, we Control C, and we come back. Cool. So what do we do? Well, I should say, excuse me, create a task if you haven't done so before. Create a task so that you can actually then connect it with your Apify, and you'll be set and ready to go. And by the way, if you're this part far in the video, I'm assuming you've connected Apify at the moment. If you haven't, there is like an API section you can grab and enter the API key, and it connects it all perfectly together for you. So look, I come back over now. I click on add new module. I click on Apify. Cool. We got run an actor, run a task, dataset items. We're going to run an actor. Okay, cool. And what's the name of this wonderful actor? Let's grab it from our previous one. This one's called Contact Info Scraper. Sweet. Okay. Contact Info Scraper. Sweet. We got him. Input JSON. Bada bing. Boom. He's straight in there. I love it. Now we've got test.com. Let's get rid of that guy. And then we're going to put in the URL that this will pull. And the beautiful thing, guys, the beautiful thing about Airtable, making sure there's nothing there. Yeah, that's cool. Oops. The beautiful thing about Airtable is that, like, when it watches the record, it just pulls down everything for us. Everything that's in that row, the title URL, the description, status script, all that stuff, brings it down. That's cool. Then we click OK. The first thing we need to do is click on the filter, set up a filter, and all we're going to say is that status, okay, come down. We're looking for contains, case insensitive, and scrape. So basically, if we haven't said scrape, it won't send it to run this actor, okay? Let's run this whole automation from top to bottom, okay? This actor's running, so go to step 2, hit run the actor. Let's head over to our search term. Let's add a new search term in. Let's put in London plants. We hit enter, we're done. We go to scenario 1, we hit run once. Airtable's gonna find it. Apify, see it's found the London plants. Awesome, Apify is gonna run as an actor. Then it's gonna get dragged down by this guy who's gonna go out and see what the first person has physically done. Cool, then back down to step 2. It's watched the actor runs, it's got the dataset items, and we go over here to table, it's found indoor plants. Let's just say we click on it. Do we think that could work for us? Yeah, you know, I think London indoor plants page, I like it. So what do? I come here, I click on scrape, I come over to third-party automation, then I run this automation. And as you can see, guys, that's run successfully because it hasn't found the word scrape there. Look, scrape. Had I not clicked scrape, that never would have happened. And then it's run this automation here, which is given the output. Cool. So what does that mean? It means, guys, that you've successfully built the third part of the automation, which is amazing. And yet again, my thing has zoomed out and gone crazy. And now it's back to normal again. That's what I like to see. All right, so now we do the final part of this whole thing. So we're going to get, again, what are we without our formalities? We come here and we're going to create the final part. Now, this part of the scenario is epic, okay? Again, first thing we do, we come down to Apify. We're going to look for watch actor runs. Cool, we're going to add a hook. And so we pick our actor, and it's this one, contact info scraper. Cool, click save. That's decent. Then we click OK, sweet. Add a new one in. And then for this one here, we're going to click on Apify again, get dataset items, dataset ID. Let's bring it over so you can see all the way down there at the bottom. And if I remember correctly, the one that we want is, in fact, I'm just going to double check. It's always good to double check because it's like default dataset ID. Okay, sweet, come over. Look down, we're looking for default dataset ID. Awesome, then we click OK, then we come out, then we click save the scenario. So let's run this from the top then. So let's run part 4, which is okay. I need to come back over now to part 3. I need to right click on this guy, run this module only, and then let's just give it a URL. If I Google London house plans, I click this URL, I copy it, I come over now to scenario 3, I enter it in, I click OK. This actor is going to run, and then I come back over to 4. Once that's run, he'll grab it, pull it through. Then we'll get the dataset items. And then once we've got that dataset items, we can then start to build out this cool, epic part of the automation. Because as soon as we've done that, what essentially we're going to do then is we're going to grab the file. In other words, great, we've got it and we've got this cool contact data, but we now want to enrich it, right? Because essentially, if you just want the contact data, you would just cut these out of it. That would be it. But the reason why we've got these 5 modules is we're taking the data, the URL from the website, and then we're going to enrich it. We're going to build something specific for that individual, right? We're going to get the data from the website. We're going to create a unique subject line, and we're going to create a new body for the email, and then draft that email. And then we're going to add everything over to the Airtable. So it's going to create a really cool automation for us. So come back over, and also by magic, guys, it's appeared. Look at the dataset items. Check this out. Look, it's got emails. We've got the email now. Have we got a phone number? No phone number. LinkedIn? No. Twitter? No. Instagram? No. Facebook? No. And that's cool because not every website you go on is going to have every social media, but that's completely okay. So look, what's the next thing we want to do? Well, look, we now want to be able to get all the information from the website. So to do that, I want you to type in HTTP. It's called get a file. And the URL you're going to give it here is going to be this URL here, londonhouseplans.com. Cool, click it, click OK, phenomenal. Then you're going to do HTML to text. Now, because the problem at the moment, right, is we'll have all the HTML, but it needs to be in a way that like we can understand the Queen's beautiful English, okay? Grab that, we'll turn it then from internet gobbledygook into something that we as human beings can actually read and understand. Click data, amazing. And then you're gonna do 2 other modules. You're gonna click plus, you're gonna come on ChatGPT, you're gonna click create a completion. I recommend GPT 4o, which is recently launched. Got a video on the channel on that recently. I'm loving GPT 4o. But we can't build it as an assistant at the moment. That's something we'll be able to do hopefully in the near future. So for that, we're just going to build it within the no code. If that doesn't make sense, don't worry. Just copy the buttons I'm pressing. Come down to GPT 4o system. It's insanely fast and it's half the price of. I run half the price of Turbo. I understand. Max tokens, put 0. That basically means just use as many tokens as you got. And then we've got this add message. So the role you wanted to play is as a user, and then message content. So look. This is going to be our subject line bot, okay? So let me come over to our email one line. And now look, the way that, now this is going to be the key bit based on your business, and this will change for everybody, but this is a bot, an agent that I think you can use and get started with. Now look, you are an email headline writer bot designed to get the user to click on the email. You do not create clickbait. For context, this email is, and then you would insert the context of your email. Generate a personalized email to encourage them to book a 15-minute discovery call. I've said in this case with an AI automation agency. You will have an extract of their website, so to change that. If helpful, try to find out something unique and about that specific website, an achievement, an award, a relevant piece of news that you may want to include in the email. You are capable of producing only a subject line. You will not include any other text or parameters other than the subject line. You must provide no more than 60 characters as a maximum. Do not provide any additional text and explain or otherwise. Only provide the email subject line. Rogue I, let's get rid of him. Here's website information. And here, guys, is where we would just enter the information for the website. Here are some guidelines. So we would say, keep it short and sweet, ideally under 50 characters. And all these guidelines are based on like the best practices for creating like subject lines. I had like so many additional data points, insights, and research. Make it eye-catching, attention-grabbing, evoke curiosity, emotional FOMO, personalize it where possible using email's name or reference interest or actions, align it with your users. By the way, the name bit can build into any automation, so it's there if you feed it the name. Segment your list or tailor subject lines, casual conversational tone, blah, blah, blah. And then guys, 100 examples of great subject lines all the way down the bottom. So what do? We copy all of this. This is available again in School Community down below. You just click on it. You can just like where you get the automations and you're ready to go. We come over to number 4. We come to message content, paste it. Sweet, get rid of this. And then what do? Come down. And there we are. Here's website information. And then I want you to put the information, the information from here, which is going to be the text parser, not the HTML. The HTML will be like 1 billion lines long and like it will crack and break and it'll stop working and it's a nightmare. How do I know that? I'll let you guess. I've been there before. Okay, cool. We click OK. Amazing. And then of course, guys, we've got to rename this, right? We've got to rename this something really cool. So let's call this one email subject line. And then we'll call him, let's give him a little email sign. Cool. All right, sweet. And then right click on him, clone him, just like the 6th day. Rename this one. Let's rename this one email body. Okay, email body, get rid of the line bit, come here, get rid of that, come here, give it a little fire emoji, and then we need to give it something different. So then we're gonna go onto our email body script. So look, you are a conversational, human-like expert specialized in converting cold leads to the next call to action. You must make users feel heard, understood, and valued. So what's the purpose of a cold email? The purpose of a cold email is A, to get their attention, and B, to give them value. We need to give them value in this conversation. That could be, hey, here's a free thing, booking 15-minute calls. There's a million things I go into. I've just built this to show you, like, here's how you create an email and a subject line. I'm not going deep into the science of how we actually turn them into clicks, but I do a lot of that in the group and the community. So look, instructions. Using the following inputs from a potential client, generate a personalized email to encourage them to sign up for a 50-minute discovery call with our AI automation agency. Again, if you've got an agency, amazing. If not, change it for what you want. Or your purposes, maybe you don't want a 50-minute call, maybe you want something else. Reply to the prompt with an email formatted in HTML. Why do we want that? Well, you'll find out soon when it lands in Gmail. Otherwise, it's all like this horrible text. You're like, no, so you need an HTML. So look, try to find out something specific from the website, an achievement, an award, a relevant piece of news to include an email. It's bespoke, it's unique, right? For example, if the website shows they've won an award, you might say, hey, I'd like to start off by congratulating you on your next award. We specify the inputs. I put a load of description about our services, so I create this like fake AI agency called Forgotten, which is revolutionary, despite the fact it doesn't exist. Go figure how that works. We offer a range of cutting-edge solutions. I mean, that's straight out of the corporate, the corporate handbook right there. Predictive, blah, 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 blah. Loads of cool stuff. And then I've given it a set of rules. Start by every email by saying, hey, first name. You'll be provided with an email address. If that name is in the email address, then use that. If not, then use a generic greeting. If the name is Adam, say, hey, Adam. If it's Jack, say, hey, Jack. And each email with, and then you can specify how you want the outro to be. And then I've given it some really clear guidelines in terms of how I want it to be. For example, positive, ambitious, explanatory, clear and concise, everyday words. Use less than 20 words per sentence. Do not make a paragraph longer than 2 sentences. A short and sweet email. And you know what, man? Avoid corporate jargon, please. Because we don't like our corporate jargon over here at AI Automations for Jack. So we copy this. We then go into automation. We click on this guy. We come down, get the message content. It's all there because we copied it. We paste it. Cool. We'll remove this. Now, let's look for the bits with the inputs. So have a look. Here's the inputs. Okay, client website. Come down, get rid of this, move it over here so you get a really good look at it. And an email. Okay, cool. So what's their website? Well, the website, again, if you can see, okay, is going to be text parser, okay? That's the website. What's their first name? The first name, if at all it is available, is going to be... By the way, when people say they scrape first names and stuff, a lot of the time it is by doing stuff like getting an email address and like, oh, it's Adam at blah, blah, blah.com. It's like, oh, maybe it's Adam then. So what we would do, you see this emails, click on emails, click on one. There you go, look. Sweet. So we've got that information there, right? And then the email address at the bottom, exactly the same thing. Cool. And then we've got description services, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Done. Wonderful. Beautiful. We love it. We like it. So let's go over to Airtable. And we've got this, I'm going to create a new one here for us. We've got results. Let's click on add, start from scratch. And we're going to call this one contact. And then let's give it some googly eyes and click save. So let's go through all the fields that we need to add in a really simple fashion. So we've got URL, we've got email. Cool. So first one, double click, URL. My suggestion, guys, is keep it all single line text or long text. If you try to specify it and the output's a bit weird, it just saves you a headache. So create URL. Then we want email, then we want phone. So right click, edit field. Email, long text, cool. Duplicate field. Click on this guy. Phone. Call this guy phone. Of course, we need a phone emoji. Where are we without our emojis, man? We're savages. We're crazy, uncivilized. LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Cool. So let's just duplicate this guy a couple of times. And again, like you can get YouTube and everything on this, guys. It's crazy, right? So, LinkedIn. Of course, what better depicts LinkedIn rolling in a suitcase? Next guy, Instagram. And then Facebook. Come on here. Add that in there. We don't want user. You'll get messed up sometimes if you just have the wrong format or whatever. Cool. Next one we want is subject. Now the subject, guys, is going to be single line select on that, just for the email. It's if you want it. Like, you don't have to add this stuff, but it's like, why not have it? Is there anything else we need to add? I think that's literally it. Before we add in and grab that data, I just want to run it one more time. So let's click on run once here, and just I recommend you use this URL here, https://crunch.co.uk, because it has a lot of the data already and it will port over for you nicely. So click OK. This is going to run the actor, and now this is going to scrape all the data from that. Now, when you're uploading this to Airtable, essentially, if it finds like 5 emails, it outputs them in a slightly different way. So instead of just like naturally grabbing all 5 together and saying, hey, here's hello at Crunch, here's contact at Crunch, it'll bundle them together and you won't get the correct output that you're looking for in the Airtable. So there's ways you can obviously counter that with different like tools and stuff within the Make universe, but to keep this simple and get you up and running, I'm just gonna show you a really basic one that will grab the first one, and then I can get into more complex solutions after the fact. But I just want to get you up and running with it, and this video is already like, I'm guessing, I don't know at the time recording, but I'm guessing we're near 50 minutes into this, so I'll show you how to get the basics up, and then we can add a little fancy stuff in afterwards. Cool, so that's now done. Actually, I need to rename this one, right? This is not subject line. This guy is email. Okay, sweet. Click OK. Use crunch.com, which we use at the beginning of the video, which is like a accountancy thing. So let's check it out. Book your 50 minutes of every call with award-winning Crunch. Sweet. So we can see we've got a subject line and we've got an email. That's cool. Let's check out the results. It's all in HTML. Cool. We love it. Sweet. Now let's add this all into Airtable. Click on Airtable. We're going to click on Create a Record. That loads up. Click the base. Come down. Click on Epic Script Program. That's cool. Click on Table. And we're going to do Contact at the bottom. Cool. And then we just map everything over. So we start with the URL. So we come down to URL here, which is crunch.co.uk. We come down to phone. Let's go down to phones. 1. There you go. Sweet. And what I recommend you do, guys, one of the weird functions of Airtable is that if it pulls through like 5 phones, it won't just do phone number, comma, phone number, comma, phone number, comma. So just to keep this simple, because this video is already getting like very, very long, what I would want you to do is when you select these things, if I come down to LinkedIn, for example, it's got LinkedIn 1, LinkedIn 2, whatever. Click this one here. Come down to Instagram, right? Come down to Instagram, select the 1. Come down to Facebook, select the 1. So this will just pull through the first result. Most of these, you're never going to need to do more than 1. So come down to Twitter. There is no Twitter, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's cool. There we go. And then to stop you from getting like the same data point a million times over, because you don't need multiple cases of this, what I'd suggest you do is copy one of the results, go to your browser, paste it in, and instead of phones, just change it to email. Emails, copy it, come back in, and post it. And then all that will ever do is pull the first results. You actually never need to get like 1,000 of them instead. So come down, let's have a look. Emails, perfect. And then what is the final one that we need? Twitter. And how does it describe Twitter? Twitter is described as, where is Twitter? Oh my goodness, Twitters. Cool, post it in again, get here, Twitters. Cool, sweet, put it in there, nice. And then we got subject, click on the subject, that's gonna be from the subject line bar, and then we've got HTML body, which is a result for that, done, boom, perfect, complete. Now guys, we're gonna run this whole thing from the top right to the bottom, and we're gonna see how this all plays out in practice. So, back to the first step with our lovely, this is my other one. Okay, now back to the first step. Let's start off with the search term. What search term did we want? Why don't we go something like used cars leads, enter, okay? I come over, I pre-program to run this guy, we'll wait for new data. So pre-program number 2, I go over to number 1, I hit run once. This is gonna find used cars leads and then send it over to the actor. So we'll see, maybe we wanna work with garages to help them automate stuff. So that's really gonna save us a ton of time. Amazing, so Airtable just grabbed it, run it through the actor, then this guy's gonna wait for this guy to come down, which is amazing. Okay, we'll give this guy a couple of seconds. Cool, so Appfire's grabbed it, we've got the data set items, and it's just been added into the Airtable. So let's go over to our Airtable, into results. What do we see? We see this cool, used cars for sales and leads. Now bear in mind guys, I use one particular website. In reality, this could be 5, 10, 20, 15. I'm just doing one for the sake of it. Again, how would you change that? Come back to 1, click on run actor, And you see here, max pages per query, 1. Change that to whatever number you want to, and results per page, whatever. So again, all that's modifiable. With an Apify, you can change all parameters when you're building it. Cool, I'm here, I look at it, I take a quick peruse of it, use cards for sales and leads, the AA, blah, blah, blah. Do I like that? Do I want to reach out to the AA? Maybe I do. AA is really huge, but for purposes of this, I'm going to say, yes, let's scrape that particular website. So we've got number 3, and then we've got number 4. So I'm going to click on run this actor here. So he's going to wait. We come over here and we hit run once. And bear in mind, guys, the only thing that you're ever going to do, now look at this, is pass the filter. Why? Because I said scrape. How cool is that? I come back out. Excuse me, let me just realign this again. My goodness. All right, well, let me just realign the background. Okay, cool. Auto realign. This is now waiting for it. We've grabbed it. We've grabbed it. We scraped the web page. We've got a file of it. We've got a text parser. We've created a subject line for it. We've created an email for it. This is now loading for us in the background. The one thing I haven't added yet is going to be the Gmail thing. So once that's done, let's create a record and send it over to Airtable. So if I go over to Airtable now, we should have and see all the data they created for us, right? So let's go over to the Airtable and see. In contact, and look at this, guys. Again, no email available, no phone available, but we've got the LinkedIn, we've got the Facebook, we've got the Twitter, and then we've got the information from the Gmail. How cool is that? That is epic. Now look, if I come back here and I click on Gmail, I click on create a draft, I click on subject. The subject I'm going to put in there is going to be the email subject line. The content I put in there is going to be on the email itself, right there. Boom, perfect. And then again, add a recipient. I'm just going to put test@test.com. The reason I'm going to do that, guys, is because you won't always necessarily get an email, so it will fail at that point in the automation. So just by having test@test.com, and then what we can do is just simply add the email parameter at the bottom, so that if we don't get it, we can grab it from the actual body itself. Then we click OK. Awesome. What folder do we want? Well, I think we want to get it in, let's have a quick look, drafts, once it loads up for us. Drafts. Okay, cool, perfect. So then, guys, let's run this one final time. We're going to run the 4th one over here. We're going to back over to number 3. We're going to test this with crunch.co.uk and click OK. That's going to run in the background. That hasn't worked. Why has that not worked? Let's have a quick look. I didn't give it a valid URL. That's not great, right, guys? Let's run this one more time. Okay. HTTPS, bam, 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 crunch.co.uk. Awesome, cool, right, enter. Hopefully this one's gonna work for us, okay? Okay, now it's worked, that's cool. Now wait for that all to push in the background. I'm gonna run through the whole system one more time, and when that's done, we're gonna be ready to go. We can go check in on Apify, so this is going, so you can see at the bottom here, it shows you how long it's been and how long it'll take to run the whole automation. By the way, guys, if this takes a minute to do, that's completely fine. It could be a minute, it could be 2 minutes. It could be based on so many different things. And already, guys, it's rocketed through the whole system. We've got the website, we've got the subject line. Let's check out the subject line. Unlock 1% pricing for soldier success. Book a call now. Love that. Email, Airtable, and now a draft in Gmail. Let's go check out Gmail. Come over. Let's refresh the page. Come and check it out. Have I got this here? Let's have a quick look. And there we go, guys. So look, get rid of this bit here. Hey there, I hope this will find you well. First, I want to congratulate you on your seamless integration of accounting solutions for sole traders and limited companies. Your detailed guides are blah. So it's already taken into account something specific about the website. Again, can we improve this? Oh my gosh, we can improve this a million times. But this is just to show you we can grab content and personalize for it. And look, we've got stuff about what we do. It's got format and it's bold. Then if I come over to this, we should see some data in our webpage. And look at this, guys. We've got the phone, a LinkedIn, an Instagram, a Facebook, a Twitter, a subject line, and the HTML body. And that is the whole automation in a nutshell. And one thing I'd say, guys, is there are multiple contact detail scraping bots, okay? I chose this one because it's free. But at the end of the day, guys, you can actually use so many different ones, right? Contact details scraper, okay? Like, there are lots of different ones on here. Some are paid, some are free. And, you know, if you're really scaling this up, you can experiment with different solutions. And that's how I built this whole AI automated outreach system. This whole video, by the way, came from a suggestion in the school community. Someone asked me, so I built it. So if you haven't checked it out yet, check that out down below. And if you haven't seen this GPT-4o video, I'd encourage you to head over there right now and watch it. But in any case, guys, you've been great, and I will see you in the next video.